Into the sky we soar. Every day, Aviator, let me show you more.
From Takeoff, hear those engines roar. Feel those rush, I'm the naked door. Love so hard, and just like a rain. Take me deep with the mission of me.
Every day, Aviator, conquering the skies. After burning dreams in those spider jets we fly. Every day, Aviator, reaching new heights. Soaring through the clouds on the starlit nights. Fasten your seatbelts, hold on tight. We'll chase the sun, break through the night.
From the hangar to the open blue. Aim for twist and turn, I'll guide you through. Throttle up the ride, embrace the thrill. Every day, there's a skill and will.
Every day, Aviator, conquering the skies. After burning dreams in those fighter jets we fly. Every day, Aviator, reaching new heights. Soaring through the clouds on the starlit nights. We live for the roar, we die for the speed. In this endless chase, it's adventure we need. Through floods over oceans, every path we lead. Every day, Aviator, we were born to exceed. Every day, Aviator, conquering the skies. After burning dreams in those fighter jets we fly. Every day, Aviator, reaching new heights. Soaring through the clouds on the starlit nights.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another stream. Kind of a surprise video here. I just happened to see this new aircraft that was released today, which I knew nothing about it coming up. And I have actually heard about this aircraft in real life. Some of you may have, some of you may not have. It's an all-electric aircraft. I think it's called Alice or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But it's in its third prototype phase right now. The first two have not lived up to to their expectations. This one that is in the sim now, and it's available for around $20 US, is based after the second prototype. It's pretty neat though. I've never really tried any electric aircraft before. There really isn't many electric anything right now other than Teslas, which are doing pretty good. They're different. I recently test drove one, kind of rented one for several days while on vacation just to see what they're all about, and it was actually really cool. The technology packed inside of them was quite amazing. But anyway, so this is the Alice all-electric aircraft. It is pretty neat. Some of the features that they have built into it is pretty cool. The EFB is pretty nice. You simply just swipe up on it, it unlocks. So yeah, it has the flight planner here, and it's pretty obvious what it is. You can create flights in here, enter it, gives you an idea of what's all going on, power-wise, range, all that. Just simply swipe up to get to the next page, or back to the home screen. Your settings is pretty obvious what that is. Airplane overview, it's your doors, stuff like that, your charging port. Checklist, Navigraph, notes, manual. Not going to go through it all, it's pretty obvious. Something pretty neat I was reading about is whenever you have no power applied and say you're descending or whatnot, the propellers will then act as a windmill and actually generate electricity and charge the battery. So that's pretty neat. So to get this started, there is 3 different batteries. Battery 1, which is located behind the throttle here, or not the throttle, the joystick is right there. The Avionics Master is automatically on, even though it's not lit up. I'll let it do its thing here while I finish setting up. But yeah, battery 1 is the main battery that controls the flight deck. Battery 2 and 3, which is down here, control the engines. Batteries 2 and 3 will always be charging battery 1. That way, if you to run it empty on charge, at least you'll still have a decently charged, somewhat battery 1 to use for the flight deck to save yourself. So it is getting there. Let's go ahead and turn our nav lights on. Go ahead and set our altimeter here. I'm going to be going going to do a simple direct to Orlando here. So we'll just go ahead and activate that. Nothing special. So under, you may be know these panels decently. This is how you change the panel here if you need to, which controls this up here. So I can go switch this to battery. This is the way I used it earlier when I took my first and only flight so far with this. This way you can at least see your battery levels. It shows you right now they are discharging. The SOC stands for state of charge. These 3 should be right at 100% starting off. Tells you the temperature of them. The range down here. If you notice, battery 1 does not have a range. Like I was saying earlier, that is for the flight deck and not for the engines. So yeah, that's what that is. And these other pages don't really look, I mean, they're unique for the aircraft, but they're not too entirely different. I was just leaving it on batteries. The other thing to make note of with this aircraft is the thrust mode. So that controls how much use it's actually sending to the engines. Pretty obvious there, taxi, range, and power. Range is more or less can be translated as cruise. And everything else in here is pretty obvious what it is. I'm not going to go into too much of that. Your autopilot there. So let's go ahead and get the electricity to the engines. Can't really say start the engines because you don't actually start them really. It's pretty much just like a Tesla. If you've ever drove one of them, you don't really start the car, you just push the pedal and it goes like a golf cart basically. So just turn the 2 power things on there and you will see nothing has changed RPM wise, kilowatts, just like I said before, because you don't technically start these engines. Just like that, they're on, but they're not moving, just like a golf cart or a Tesla. So we are at Clearwater Airport, or no, not Clearwater. Clearwater don't have one. St. Pete, and we're just going to Orlando. So I will go ahead and turn our taxi light on, anti-collision, beacon lights, and we will taxi to our runway for takeoff, and parking brakes are off. Applying just a little bit of throttle here. Obviously it's very quiet. All you're of course going to hear is aerodynamics and ground noise. I've never had any other type of aircraft or anything from this developer. Live to Air, I think, is the name of them. And so far, after the one flight, I was pretty impressed with it. I've obviously never flown one of these before, so I can't really compare as to what it feels like in real life. But I mean, it felt like your typical aircraft. It behaved as it felt it should. Go ahead and set our flaps to half. There's only 2 notches of flaps in this aircraft. So over here, the KW stands for kilowatts. That's basically, imagine that being not only your thrust, your idea of how much thrust you're sending to the engines, but it's basically how much energy you're consuming as well. So it's also kind of like your fuel gauge. Set my trim up just a little bit here. And you can see now it's showing -2, -3 kilowatts. So that means it's actually charging just ever so slightly. Not really even enough to notice though. So if you go down here, you can see they're no longer now spinning, so which now it does show it to be at 0. So yeah. Let's go ahead and stop here. And get our landing light on, taxi light off, and go ahead and turn our thrust mode to power. And nobody should be coming. We have a decent little crosswind here. Winds are coming from 100 at 12. So I'm almost going to have a direct crosswind. So right underneath the RPM dial there, you'll see the SOC, the full state of charge overall for the aircraft. You'll see your range, which will obviously in the beginning on takeoff be very low because you're applying, full power, and after you finish your climb and you go into cruise, it will start to extend out naturally. And then you can also see how much energy you're using and flight time as to how much time you have left in the flight till you run out of juice. So let's go ahead and hit full throttle. And we are airborne. Positive rate of climb. Gear up. Retract flaps. So you can see right now we're only at 140 nautical miles on range. Could fly for just under an hour with this power being applied. Let's go ahead and set our altitude and through our range here. Our heading, excuse me. And autopilot, heading vertical speed. And we can see Tampa over here in front of us. And as expected on the exterior view, all you can really hear is the aerodynamics coming off the propellers. So just going off what I've seen online with this aircraft, picture-wise, the model does seem pretty good. Switch over to this panel here, extend my map out a little bit. Let's see. It's actually going up a little higher. It's going up. Wasn't exactly sure how far. We're about 75. Okay. Let's go up to 11 and a half. It might be a little too high. We'll see. I can probably get that climb done pretty quick. I'm going up at 2,000 feet per minute right now, which is a little steep. So just about 3 minutes. The back is fully modeled. You can open the doors back here as well and take a peek at the clothes. There is 3 variants of this aircraft. There is this version, which is the regular passenger variant. Then there is a luxury version that holds like half the amount of people. The seats look a lot nicer. And this is going off the pictures I've seen. Not actually loaded into this one or the third one. But then the third one is a cargo variant. And there's quite a few liveries that come with each one. .68 nautical miles out. Should be getting ready to pick up the intercept on the flight path here in probably the next minute. I do like having these little dials over here. These are pretty nice. And of course you have them here as well. But that's a quick little easy reference as well. Those are also really considered your backups in case for some reason these computers go out. You've still got them to know what your airspeed is and vertical speed. And as you can see from the tilting of the aircraft, the banking, that it has captured the flight path. And you know, I wasn't going to do this, I was just going to do a visual approach, but you know what, since we are in here, let's just see how well the autopilot is for landing. Capturing the glide slope and all that. So winds are coming from the 80 at 5. I don't really know what approach there. Whoa, no, not there. Yeah, Orlando, because that's where we're going. Let's see, we'll land 36. If I can move it, there it is. We'll go 36 left. Oh, that's right, it doesn't have ILS, I don't think. So we'll do 36 right. We'll do that. We'll just go ahead and load and activate because I'm pretty close. As I'm only 50 nautical miles out. Alright, so I am at cruising level. So we'll go ahead and turn this range over, and you'll notice the power is going to reduce. And as that has reduced, you will notice the range will increase over a few minutes, because it's now taking the average and doing the math, and just like with a vehicle's gas mileage, it will increase its range over a couple minutes. What I think would be pretty cool is to see, you know, if they're going to keep going with the, what does this button do? Oh, whoa. You can move the, oh, that's right, I think I remember reading that, 'cause I think, yeah, you can move it down there as well. There's a couple places you can move it. That was in the manual. But anyway, yeah, they're going to keep up with going with this electric for airplanes and stuff. I think something neat to add to an electric aircraft, which I don't know why they haven't. There's got to be a reason, maybe, is to add solar panels, though, on like top of the wings. The way it could, during the daytime, it could charge while it's flying, thus improving its range. Some of the Teslas have that. The roof, you could special order the roof to have a built-in solar panel so it could charge while you drive and have it parked. Free energy. Of course, issues with that in airplanes would be, you know, of course, cloud cover, it wouldn't do as much. Icing would probably affect it. Of course, you'd also have to have a way to protect it from damage from the weather elements, just like you would in, you know, ground-based solar farms. And I imagine that might be something they do once they get the basics of full electric flight down. That might be why they've not really done that yet, because that might be something pretty easy to add in later. I guess. I don't know. I'm not an electrical engineer. I am about to be a mechanical engineer. In just a short time, I will have graduated. Finally. That definitely doesn't make me no expert, though. Takes years to become an expert in one particular field. Yeah, we're only about 6 minutes away from our final approach to runway 36 right at Orlando. It does have a neat little charging system built in. So when you are parked, you can request a charger and charge it yourself, so to say. You actually, you know, you put the open the charger port, connect the charger in, and then you get to see it charge. The screen looks well, I ain't gonna say quite a bit, but it does remind me a lot of a Tesla charging screen that's inside the car. You see how many kilowatts it's charged, how much money it's costed, the rate and all that. It's very similar. I've not actually done the math yet to see if this aircraft, the cost that it's saying it is versus fuel, usage to see if it's actually cheaper or not. Not really done that math yet. Because at the same time, that can be kind of difficult to do. You'd have to basically find another aircraft that's very similar in weight, performance, and its capacity, and then go off its fuel consumption for a flight versus this aircraft's flight in very similar weather conditions as well. And then that would be really the only way you could really state how accurate or how much better it is in performance with fuel consumption or value, whatever you want to call it. But let's go ahead and go ahead and start reducing our altitude. We didn't really need to climb up that high because it's not that far away. But yep, and let's go ahead and start our descent. I'm going to go ahead and reduce my power all the way. And you can see here, this is kind of what it's showing. It's showing you it's negative 31 on each engine, so math makes it 62 kilowatts I'm getting. So it is slightly charging the aircraft as I am descending. I imagine that could be useful in the event that you do run out of charge while you're descending to go to an airport. You can go ahead and start charging your batteries back up, so you would probably have enough charge to make a safe final approach and landing, given that you are close enough to an airport at whatever altitude you were at when you lost power. Of course, if you're over the middle of the ocean, good luck. And about a minute away from our first waypoint for final. And turning left, line up for runway 36 right. You can probably see the airport out there.
2500.
Well, that was loud. Airport is coming into view. And I'm going to go ahead and turn power to thrust mode just in case we need to do a go around. Sitting at 2,500 feet, ready to intercept the localizer and go out slope. I'm going to go ahead and hit approach because I should be able to grab the localizer. Maybe. There we go. I think it's got it now. Maybe. Looks like it does. Localizer's green. I'm not really used to this autopilot. I've never really used it before, honestly. I'm trying to think of what other planes it's in. I think it's in the... Is it in the TBM 930? I'm trying to think of aircrafts it's in Microsoft Flight. It's in a few. Maybe the King Air as well. I don't really ever use it though. Those aircrafts, I'm not really very familiar with it. So we'll see if I've done it right here in a second. If not, we'll just do a visual landing. Visual approach and landing. Coming up on the glide slope capture. Here in about 5 or 6 seconds it should grab it if I've got it done or set right. Okay, cool. It grabbed it. It grabbed it. Okay, so there's that. Alright, and I'm safe to go full flaps almost. Right there at it. We'll go ahead and hit it now. It's so quiet. It's quite odd. Now, I don't know if this, well, I highly doubt this thing is auto land. I don't think this style autopilot can do that. I think it would be a pretty rough ride. I'm not really going to try that out right now because I don't feel like the screen going black saying you have crashed. Congratulations. So I will deactivate the autopilot once I'm pretty close.
1,000. 1,000.
To be a pretty decently sized aircraft, it does have a pretty low stall speed. I mean, I know it's no A320 or anything. It's probably about the size of a Longitude, probably, maybe a Citation, something like that. Which they can go pretty slow as well. But I guess because this one's lighter, because it don't have as many mechanical components,
500. 500.
makes it be able to perform a little better at lower speeds. I'm going to turn off autopilot and guide it in myself now. With it being that light, I wonder what
400.
its glide ratio is. It might have a pretty good glide ratio. Getting a little bit of upwind here. Updraft.
300.
Kind of kicked me up in the sky there. I'm sure you could notice.
200.
One benefit to
100.
having electric engines is power. When your
50.
power is
40.
applied, it is immediate power.
30.
You don't have to wait for anything to spool
20.
up.
10.
Alright. Make a hard turn here. Go over here and find us a gate to park at. And I will demonstrate the charging system. Alright. So, let's go ahead and turn lights off. I will leave the nav light on. And we'll turn power off to the engines. No need to have them on. Go ahead and turn that back to taxi. And I will actually go ahead and turn everything off. And what we'll do is go over here to the charger. Let's actually call the charger. And we will open up the charging panel. and put it in, and you can see it starts charging. So doing the 500 kilowatts an hour, it is kind of slow. It's going to take 37 minutes, so you can always change it over to a faster charge and then scale the scaler up. So you can go 2, 3 times, 4 times. It's only take 4 minutes from here. I don't know how high you can go. You can go pretty high apparently. And you can let that sit there and charge while you're doing whatever it is you wish. So overall, I do recommend this aircraft if you like something unique and or just want to find something new to fly that is different. If you like smaller aircraft this size, it is definitely fun to try. Of course, if you're one of them people that have to have good engine sounds and you love to hear the roar of the engines spinning up and all that, or prop planes, you're obviously not really going to get that with this because it is electric. But if you like cool tech, it's pretty fun. It's definitely unique. It's a neat addition to have into Microsoft Flight. I didn't raise my flaps, I just realized that. Oh well. So yeah, being the first time to have ever purchased anything from this company, I am pretty impressed and have enjoyed it thus far. Look forward to any updates. I'm not really sure what the updates might contain, because I've really not noticed any issues with the aircraft, bug-wise or anything. They might tweak the performance a little bit here and there. And maybe when the third prototype comes out, they might update it for it. Maybe add in an additional aircraft maybe that looks more like the third prototype, or maybe it'll be something you have to buy again. Who knows? All in time, all in time. Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it useful. Please like and subscribe if you did, to follow more updates for the future and more real life air shows. I hope you did enjoy the new intro video I had there. It's kind of ironic. I've got my own custom intro song now. It's talking about jets, fighter jets, roar the engines, and here I am on my first video with it, flying an all-electric aircraft that makes virtually no sound. Kind of defeating the purpose of the video, but not like I really do much on electric aircraft anyway, because there's not that many of them. Yeah, as always, safe flying, and thanks for watching.
Take off into the sky we soar. Every day, Aviator, let me show you more.
From Takeoff, hear those engines roar. Fit those flash, but they can't door. Up so high, and jets like a rain. Take it deep with the mission of me.
Every day, Aviator, conquering the skies. After burning dreams in those fighter jets we fly. Every day, Aviator, reaching new heights, soaring through the clouds under starlit nights. Fasten your seatbelts, hold on tight. We'll chase the sun, break through the night.
From the hangar to the open blue, aim to twist the turn, I'll guide you through. Throttle up the ride, embrace the thrill. Every day